I guess it's working. Okay. So anyways, I'm really excited about today because even if you feel like maybe you're doing everything right with like your nutrition and your workouts and everything, especially if you have hormonal imbalances or PCOS, this is often the missing piece. And so, I'm going to teach you guys this, and it's going to be something that we do together, but it's also going to be something for you to have kind of like you do it one time and it's going to change your life and have like ongoing effects. And so it's going to be a huge learning lesson for you guys and then kind of change your perspective on things and life and be something that you can integrate kind of moving forward and really bring everything that I teach you guys together into one. And so I'm calling this one Turn Down for What by Lil Jon. I had another Lil Jon reference on a different PowerPoint before, and I just thought it was so hilarious that, like, of course, this is fitting. And like, the only time I put a song title is when it's Lil Jon. So, um, if you're someone who has been feeling like just like off, foggy,
Yeah,
fatigued,
I'm still here.
kind of like anxious for maybe no reason, this is kind of geared for you. And so this is going to teach you how to finally unplug from the chaos so that you can finally recharge. So, shout out to my high achieving, overstimulated girlies. If you are in this program, it's because you are a high achiever. So, congratulations. We don't fuck with anyone who's not a high achiever in here. And so, what this means though is that you're probably overstimulated and you probably have a lot going on. Whether it's work, your kids, or whatever the case may be, we're always multitasking. And in this day and age, like it's normal to be doing 5 million things at once. Like you're trying to be on the phone, you're eating, like Jordan's working and she's on the Zoom call, and then maybe she's eating her dinner right now. And it's like, we have so much to do and it feels like there's never enough time. And so we kind of just try to power through and get everything done. And maybe that seems super obvious to you, but I'm gonna point out some things that maybe you don't even realize is causing you to be overstimulated. So, like, obviously, if you're, maybe this isn't obvious, sorry. If you're dragging throughout the day and like you wake up in the morning, you can never get enough sleep, like caffeine is like, it doesn't even matter how much you drink. You can drink two energy drinks and still feel like shit. But then the second you try to go to sleep, you're wired and tired and you like can't go to sleep. Does anyone resonate with that? Drop it in the chat if you resonate with that because, or you'll wake up randomly at 3 in the morning and you like don't know what's going on and you can't get back to sleep. This is a sign of high cortisol, which is your stress hormone screaming at you saying, hey, we're out of whack. So that's one sign that kind of shows you that you're overstimulated. If you're constantly scrolling as your only form of me time, or when you're like at work and you're trying to take a quick work break, but then you're doom scrolling on TikTok, that's overstimulating. And once again, like I was kind of saying in the intro, like if you feel like you're hitting your workouts, you're hitting your calorie and protein goal, you're drinking your water, you're hitting your 8 hours of sleep every single night, and like something's just got to give and it's still not enough, then this is for you. So, something that you probably resonate with that I used to do all the time is always needing background noise. So listening to something all the time. So it could be as innocent as, you're driving in the car and you're listening to a podcast or listening to music, like cool. But it starts to kind of go into the danger zone territory when it's like while you're working. So it's like if you're working and you can't even like be 100% zoned in and like you need to be having a podcast or music on in the background, that's overstimulating. If you are even like feeling like you're just have a never ending to-do list and like a jam-packed calendar and you're constantly like rolling things over and feeling guilty when you're not productive. I don't know if anyone can resonate with this. Like for me, it's like I feel like I can't sit down or even relax because I just have so much to do. And then it's like if I'm not getting it done, I feel guilty. And then I'm like, wow, like I'm a piece of shit. Like I didn't get my stuff done today. So it's like anything I can do to be productive and get a quick hit of dopamine. Other signs of this too is that like maybe you're like clenching your jaw. And this is something that maybe you don't even realize too, where it's like if your jaw is super tight, um, and I guess just at the end of the day, it's like you're just rushing to do your chores, you're rushing to get everything done. And maybe you're even like forgetting to eat and it's like not even important to you and you're just kind of all over the place. And it's so easy for us to kind of be like, okay, what can I do to get a quick win, a quick hit of dopamine, a quick relief, like, and, sometimes it turns into people vaping or drinking or smoking or scrolling because we're just trying to do anything we can to kind of just like distract us. We want another distraction. And let me tell you, if any of this is resonating with you, no amount of sleep is going to help you and no amount of caffeine is going to help you. You don't need more energy. You need less noise. Hence the title, Turn Down for What. I'm going to show you guys how to turn down the noise and give you guys some practical tips today that what we're all going to kind of implement together. And so I'm really excited. And it's really just everything geared towards nervous system regulation. And I actually learned this from my coach who like specializes in nervous system regulation, like, and this changed my absolute life, and I'm excited to kind of share it with you guys. Um, Let me find my mouse. Oh, here it is. So I wanted to kind of, I was like really resonating when I was making these slides, and I'm like, hey, how can I give them like a crystal clear example of like what this looks like? And I started to like kind of reflect on like what my actual life looked like before I started implementing this stuff. Um, Sophia said calling her out with wanting to get all the things done is so real. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Once again, we're high achievers. We want to get it done and we know we can, but it's like, it's not always productive. And sometimes we got to focus on how to be productive. So before I started implementing this, I would literally like wake up at 5 in the morning still because I have to, but it was like only after snoozing 3 times, having like 5 alarms going off. I would literally wake up, run to the kitchen, make a double espresso and run out the door. And I'm chugging my double espresso on an empty stomach, didn't even eat anything. And it's the first thing, which anyone who knows anything about cortisol is that your cortisol naturally spikes in the morning. And this isn't a bad thing. This is normal. And so cortisol isn't bad. It's actually good. And it's what gets your body, naturally up in the morning. But if it's already naturally rising and then you just slap a double espresso on top of it, right when you open your eyes and you didn't even eat or give your body time to adjust, it just makes it skyrocket and it literally just fucks your whole day up and you don't even know it. And then you're constantly like, oh, what happened? I don't even know why I'm so tired or why I can, it's never enough caffeine. And it's like the timing of that is everything, which that could be a whole nother call for another day. But then it's like I'd be going straight to the gym and I'd be only focusing on lifting as hard as I can, maxing the fuck out, listening to like only rap music. And Emma, I feel like is the only one who can like actually like vouch for this because I remember she would like get in my car or like be talking to me about like what I'd be listening to on my way home from work. And it's like she's like, all you listen to is like rap music just blaring hella loud all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I don't listen to anything else. Like, this is just what I listen to. And like my headphones would give you the constant like alerts of like, you maxed out, like, you need to turn it down. Your eardrums are going to blow. And I would be like, Emma, I can't hear the music. Like, it's not loud enough. Like, I feel like I need new headphones. And she's like, dude, like, no, you need to turn down the noise and readjust. Like I was about to go get my hearing checked. Like I thought I was going deaf, y'all. And I'm actually,
True. A
yeah.
100% true.
Yeah, and I'm actually just fine. I'm actually just fine. So I don't have my smell, but I do have my hearing. Okay. Anyways, working like I was saying with like multitasking, 5 million tabs open. I'm replying to an email, and then I remember that I need to submit someone's 401k, and then I'm doing that, and then I'm doing payroll. And anyways, if you guys don't know, I'm also HR. But it's like, I couldn't even like finish or send an email or close something out because I'm constantly multitasking with 5 million tabs open. Um, like I said, getting home, cranking out my chores as fast as I can, like literally vacuuming as fast as I can and cleaning everything down. And like being in that rush state is literally like raising your heart rate, it's raising your stress. And so it's like I'm thinking like I'm, being smart because I'm saving time and I'm being efficient and I'm all about efficiency. But actually, I'm just making things a lot worse and putting my body into fight or flight is essentially what all of this is doing. And maybe one day of doing this isn't bad, but when this is your reality day in and day out, you don't even realize it's like a slow snowball domino effect. And one day you wake up and you feel like shit, and you don't even know because it happens so gradually and slowly that you can't really pinpoint what it is. And so, anyways, once again, working, it's like I'd always had to be listening to like a podcast and then doom scrolling until it's past my bedtime, wondering why I'm wide awake and why I feel like I have no time for self care and no me time and I'm miserable. After I did the stuff that I'm going to show you guys and talk about in a little bit, it actually changed my life to a point to where I will never be the same. And so now I kind of want to paint you guys through what my day looks like now and just see how big of a difference it is. So like now I'll literally wake up before my alarm, which is like insane. Um, I used to be a PM kid in kindergarten. Once again, Emma can vouch for me. She used to try to come over at, 10 in the morning and I'd be sleeping until 11. I would like miss flights. One time she tried to knock on my door to take me in my whole family on to the airport. And we almost didn't make it on our vacation in Mexico. And the flight was at like 1 p.m. Like there was no excuse why we were sleeping. So I'm just trying to paint a picture. Like I am not naturally a morning person. So this actually is like proof that you can be a morning person and you can wake up before your alarm eventually. So now I like, I'm zen. I wake up, I cuddle my dogs, I chuck my water. Um, I go to the gym now with I can't even spell AirPods, with no AirPods. I don't listen to music. I just vibe. And that is something where if you would have told me that even like 6 months ago, I would have been like, you're tripping, like you're on crack. And it's actually a game changer. And the workouts are so much better. My mornings are so much more calm. And like when I leave the gym, I feel like I'm ready to go to work and like ready to start my day. And it's just a totally different vibe that I actually can't even explain. Um, Now when I'm in the car on my way to work, instead of slapping, rap music, I am listening to like an audiobook, super chill. Shout out book club and y'all that are in book club. Or, like vibey music where it's like chill, low volume. And now I'm all about like setting boundaries, setting time blocks so that I can be productive and really taking my time with my chores and really just making sure I'm being present and intentional with my time and like scheduling in my non-negotiables so that I can also like see I'm checking them off my list, but also like scheduling in time to hang out with friends or my boyfriend during the week or having chill evenings with myself and like hopefully finish that damn paint by numbers that I'm so close to finishing and like being intentional about making that just as important as all of my other things on my to-do list. Like that is on the to-do list. And then y'all know I love a wind down routine, like 30 minutes to an hour before bed. I have my Casa light bulb, my smart bulb that's on my app where, it goes to a really low dim red light and so it like really just starts priming your brain that like okay it's time to go to sleep and it's getting darker. I take my magnesium glycinate, I wash my face. um, Sometimes I do a little gummy. I will say that like there are studies that show that if you take even just like a body shower, you don't have to take a whole ass bath, but like taking the shower and getting hot and then coming out and going to sleep in cool sheets actually does help you fall asleep faster. That's why I put this in here to remind me to tell you guys that. And then I am no longer on my phone. I am reading or I'm doing a little meditation. And so, like, these are night and day differences. And these are all things that you don't necessarily have to do, but I'm just trying to paint a picture of like examples of what this actually looks like so that maybe you can start to identify with this and be like, wow, I'm looking more like the before and not so much the after. And, where are little rooms for improvement throughout your day and your schedule that you can start to think about implementing these things. And also, let me tell you, this didn't happen like overnight. I didn't just like wake up and change my whole schedule and personality. Like, that's not what happened. This has been a work in progress for like at least 1 to 2 years. Like it really has been like slow and gradual. But yeah, doing the reflection made me just realize how crazy this is. So why is this important? Why am I bringing this up? not only for your mental health and your nervous system and like, just being the best you, but like it actually is important for fat loss and hormone health, which is why most of you guys are here. So, um, your results like don't just depend on, exactly what you're eating or how hard that you're training. It really also can be depending on how regulated you are. And when I say regulated, I mean nervous system regulation. And it's really hard to stick to a program like this, like long term, if you're not regulated. It's really hard for your body to respond well to protocols and to thrive when you're constantly living in chaos and, just all over the place. So, um, it's also just like hard to stay motivated and like in good spirits when and like be your highest self and like show up every single day when like you just feel so drained and uninspired and unmotivated in life. So, um, like I was saying, like your stress hormone, cortisol, when that's dysregulated, that itself is a problem, right? Because now you're tired, you're fatigued, you're drained. But the actual impact this has on your fat loss goals and your weight loss goals is pretty huge, and it can make it harder to lose fat. It's going to make you actually have cravings. So also a fun fact, like if your lack of sleep essentially is what causes you to overeat. So when you're not sleeping enough and everything's dysregulated, it actually changes your appetite hormones, leptin and ghrelin. You guys hear me talk about these a lot. And this is the two hormones that signal to your brain when you are hungry and signals to your brain when you are full. And when these are out of whack, your body literally does not know when it's hungry or when it's full. And then if it's also off, it makes you think that you're hungry when you're not, and then gives you super bad cravings and energy crashes, all these things. So, like, this is important. Like, if you're like, I don't care about any of that, I'm just here to get snatched, let me tell you, what we're about to go into is going to get you snatched. Um, and once again, chronic stimulation can also lead to poor digestion and shittier sleep than you're already having. And once again, those unstable hunger cues where your body just doesn't even know what's going on. And ultimately, like you're going to be burned out. And when you're burned out, naturally, like we are human beings, you're going to get decision fatigue. You're going to be like, oh, I don't know what to put on my grocery list, Taylor. What do I eat this week? Or be more likely to be impulsive because you're hangry and you're fatigued and you're like, whatever, I don't even care if I hit my macros today, I'm just going to eat this, and or I don't even have time to work out today because I'm so exhausted. So it kind of once again will be like a domino effect, and so it not only actually affects your biology and your body's ability to respond to your protocols, but also you're just going to be less likely to care, and like it's going to be easier for you to make an excuse or throw in the towel or just be overwhelmed. And when you guys are overwhelmed, it leads to analysis paralysis, and then you're overthinking it. And then when you're overthinking it, you don't do anything at all. And that's also not helpful. So now you're like, hey, I'm teeing it up for you guys. And now I'm about to kick it off of why we're all here today. Um, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have one more slide actually. Be on standby. Um, Back to the mental state of it all. Um, Everything that we're going to be doing is to give your nervous system and your mind and like your energy a quick reset so that we can operate with a blank canvas. And so I want to kind of do what we're about to do on the next slide, to put you back into the power seat of your life, but also to teach you how to be present. And so nothing outside of you, like I can't do this for you. I can give you guys the tools and the resources and the challenges and tell you what to do, but nothing outside of you can actually be responsible for improving your mental state and how you feel. And so the key to improving your mental state is by being present, hence the power of the present. Um, and once this clicks, you guys, like once again, like you're never gonna skip out on like prioritizing these practices that I'm going to teach you again, because you're going to realize that you need to schedule it in and actually build your life around it because it's so impactful. And when you're actually allowed to be present and be in the moment, it allows you to, like, I guess, like attract and call in the right energy back to like this like law of attraction that we've talked about before. And so I just want to remind you, like, where you place your attention to and focus on and your awareness is ultimately where you place your energy. So like if you're always focusing or maybe you have a friend that's like always negative and like, always down in the dumps, and then it seems like they can't catch a break and they're always attracting, negative shit. And then you have like another friend where it's like they win, tickets to a concert, all these good things are always happening to them, and it's like, they're super grateful, they're walking around abundant. Like scarcity is a mindset and an energy, and like abundance is a mindset and an energy. And like what you focus on is genuinely what you attract. And so learning how to be present is basically how you can really set the tone of what you want to attract. So I want to remind you, like the present moment right now, we're all here together, is the only moment that like actually exists. Like the past is already dead and gone, and the future's not here yet. And the only way to really like fully live and be happy and be present and experience life fully is to be in that moment and like romanticize it and be there with a place of gratitude. And like being present ultimately deepens your connection not only with like nature or your relationships, but ultimately like with yourself. And being alone with yourself, if you're insecure or you're unhappy with yourself or you're unhappy with your body or you're unhappy with your habits, like it's hard. And so yeah, I'm here to help you guys like build a lifestyle and these habits and the mindset to become your highest self and the woman that you want to be. But ultimately, like, it's going to come from when you can actually be at a place of like full self-awareness and acceptance and be authentic, like living in true alignment and being you, who you want to be, and being in the moment and being at like true peace with that, and not like a gaslighting yourself kind of peace, but like a real peace. And so how do you actually do this and be present and create law of attraction and be here in the moment? It's by creating stillness. And stillness is something that us overstimulated, constantly juggling 5 million things are probably not used to. This is something that I wasn't used to, and it definitely wasn't easy for me to implement right away. Once again, it's a work in progress and I'm still working on it. But creating stillness is the only way to be present. And so, how do we create stillness? One of the ways is meditation. And so before anyone says anything, I know that like a couple people in here, I've even like made you put like 10 minutes of meditation like every night in your protocols of like your goals and everything, because I'm recognizing that you're overstimulated and that your body needs, a little bit of a reset. Um, but for anyone who hasn't meditated before, like for me, I used to think it was just, so woo woo and like weird, and like also viewing it as like everyone thinks that meditation is the absence of thought, that like you're just supposed to sit there and have like a blank screen in your brain and that like you're not allowed to think anything, which isn't true at all. It's actually the opposite. It's supposed to be a flow state. You're supposed to allow these thoughts to come in, process them, and let them get out. The issue with you guys is that you guys have all these thoughts going on all the time, and they're just stuck in there ruminating, and there's no way for them to flow or get out. And so it can be really powerful for you to actually gain clarity. And same thing with like journal, brain dumping or things like that. But it's almost deeper than that because you can connect with yourself and get a little bit deeper. And so I'm going to do something a little different than what we typically do, and I want us to all do this short 5-minute meditation right now together. And if you haven't meditated before, I'm going to be super excited to hear your thoughts on this, and kind of just force you guys into these 5 minutes, and I want to just see what comes up for you. So I've actually never even done this before. I'm playing a video, so I hope it plays. It's also be super embarrassing. Um, and okay, so I want everyone to, unless you're driving, I want everyone to sit and all of your guys' cameras are off conveniently, so you guys are, good to go. I want everyone to sit and be into this for the next 5 minutes, and then we're gonna have a little recap. Let me know if this is working and you guys can hear
So let's start by getting comfortable. Make sure you're seated
it.
comfortably,
Someone give
whether
me
in a
the name of the
chair or
chat.
cushion on the floor, and sitting upright.
Okay,
You
cool.
can
I'm
do
gonna
this
go on mute.
meditation laying on your back, but just
Unmute yourself because we can't hear it if you're muted.
or arms in the chair,
Okay,
and your eyes open.
I'm doing it too.
Take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. On the next out breath, gently close your eyes and relax your breathing. Allow your breathing to return to normal. And now, bring your attention to your body. Notice your weight on the chair or on the floor. Notice the points of contact, any physical sensations. Begin to notice your feet touching the floor. Notice your legs on the chair, your arms resting in your lap. Notice your back against the chair. And continue to focus your attention on each of these physical points of contact for a few moments. And now begin to notice your breath. Don't change your breathing, just notice the natural state of breathing. Notice if it's shallow or deep. Notice how your breath flows in and out. Again, make no effort to change the way you're breathing. Simply notice each breath as it passes. Notice the rising and falling sensations of breathing. The rise of the inhale, the falling sensation of the exhale. Maybe it's more noticeable in your chest or stomach. Just place your attention here for a few moments. And now begin to notice any stray thoughts, but don't dwell on them. Maybe they're events of the day, things you still need to do, your mind becoming restless. Don't follow these thoughts, just notice them and return your attention to your breathing. And when your mind wanders, and it will, gently return your attention back to your breath. Watch as your breath continues to flow deeply, calmly. Notice the flow of each inhale and exhale. Notice the stages, each complete breath, from the in breath to the pause that follows, and the pause before taking another breath. Feel the air entering through your nose. Notice if the air is warm or cool as it flows down to your lungs. Notice how the space inside your chest becomes bigger with each inhale and smaller after you exhale. And now slowly return your focus back to the physical points of contact, back to your legs or feet on the floor, back to your arms and your lap. Notice your back against the chair, and slowly open your eyes and notice how you feel. You've
Okay.
completed your
So open your little eyeballs. I can't see any of you guys, so I'm assuming y'all are doing it with me. Um, I kind of want, and feel free to unmute or drop it in the chat. How did this feel? Did it feel weird? Did it feel good? Was this your first time doing a little meditation? Let me know the vibes. Sophia's tired.
I feel like it's also, you don't realize how long 5 minutes is until you're absolutely quiet.
Yeah, that was gonna be the other thing I was gonna say. We got a couple haters in the comments. I love it. That's good. I was gonna say if you hated this, you already know what I'm about to say. You need it more than anyone else in here. And I'm just gonna be so for real. We got some people that are, said it's relaxing. Okay. Um, for the 5 minute thing, like it actually can't get, I mean, like starting with 2 minutes is even hard for some people. 5 minutes, once again, is very short, relatively speaking, in like the meditation world. And I will say that this is something where just 5 minutes can make such a huge difference. I don't know if you guys can attest to that, that like, and obviously you're not going to feel the effects right now in real time right away, but like you can probably feel some sort of like immediate relief. And then later, as you go on throughout the evening or even like tomorrow, you can be more aware. And so it's like, just bringing awareness to like what you just did, your practice, if you will. But the goal is to eventually like be able to do more. And so it's something that's always challenging. And you can almost think of it as like doing cardio, where it's like if you've never done cardio and then you go and run for 5 minutes, like you're going to be sweating, you're going to be winded, you're probably going to be sore, like it's something that you're not used to doing. But then, if you do 5 minutes every day for 30 days, it'll be easier. And then you can go up to 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes will still probably be challenging, and then constantly leveling up. And so my coach, that once again um, focuses on nervous system regulation, like he had us doing 5 minutes to start, working up to like 30 minutes, and he has people doing like an hour. I've never done more than 30 minutes, but 30 minutes is like really really tough. And so if this was like uncomfortable for you, then this is showing that like you actually have a problem with stillness and that you need to do it more. um and that your nervous system like isn't even allowing you to be present. So like that's like a huge eye-opening moment for you to know like, okay, like, you know, I should probably prioritize this. And like ultimately like stillness can be, uncomfortable. Um and it ultimately like can also, I don't know, it's once you do it longer and like really start integrating it, like eventually it reveals us to ourselves. Like it's like the ultimate like point of like reflection, or it just starts bringing things up, whether it's emotions or feelings or past traumas or what's going on. Like it's really interesting because it can be really healing, but it can also be triggering for some people. And so I just kind of want to like let you also know that like there's going to be some times where you do it and it's, really relaxing and, healing. And then there's sometimes where it might be a little uncomfortable and a little triggering, and that's also okay. And it's working you through that and confronting it head on that makes like a huge difference. Um, Danielle was saying my opinion on meditation changed after having a toddler. 5 minutes of silence is so hard to come across, so that was nice. And that's like exactly what I mean. It's like, when's the last time you've even had 5 minutes to yourself? And it's easy to also do this, like, or want to do this before bed. Um, and like it is helpful for like winding down and going to sleep and actually quieting your mind. But also you can do it as like a midday reset. So it's like if you know, on your lunch break, have like 5 minutes, like do a meditation, do it in your car before you get out of your car in the morning, before you go into a crazy hectic day at work or like a meeting presentation. You guys, I have to fire people at work sometimes, and it gives me like such an anxiety attack that like one time I had to do a meditation in the car before I did it because I was like gonna throw up. And it really helped. Uh-oh, I'm gonna mute you, Danielle. Um, so anyways, once again, whatever, I just want to remind you, whatever we focus on, your brain will scan to confirm that. And so being, you know, our subconscious will constantly kind of look for things to confirm what we're already believing, to prove yourself right. Our brain loves finding examples or ways to prove ourselves right. And like focusing on things that maybe are negative or things that you won't be able to do or you're never doing enough and all these things. But that's also a loop. And so this is the loop that keeps your life the same. And so if you remain unconscious and let your subconscious kind of run the show, like you're never going to be able to change your awareness and your energy and change your law of attraction. And so you're going to be living the same life and the same issues like on repeat, kind of like a rerun of a show that you already know what's going to happen. And so the only way to change what's going on in your life or how you're feeling or how your body's responding or anything is ultimately you. And like you are the only person that can change this. And I genuinely feel like you don't need another productivity hack. I don't need to teach you how to organize or how to time block or blah, blah, blah. Like you need space to hear yourself think, to be present, to slow down, to reconnect with your intuition and listen to what your gut is actually telling you, and like to remember what it feels like to be alive without constant stimulation and things coming in at all areas. Because like once again, we're primal beings, like we're not meant to be, having all this technology and all of these things and constantly trying to one up ourselves. Like we really are supposed to be by this waterfall chilling, like in this video. So when you do these meditations, and I'm going to dive into what our challenge is, and you thought that that was all we're doing today, it's not. But I want you to kind of keep this in mind as you go throughout the rest of your day and next time you do a meditation of like what emotions come up for you when you're in stillness. And like maybe as you're going throughout your day, like try to start thinking of like the examples that I gave you of like what distractions are you using to avoid feeling things and processing your emotions. So you guys are either gonna love me or hate me, but the good news is that this is only for 7 days. I did this for 30 days, and some of you guys who follow me on Instagram, I was kind of giving a sneak peek of what that was looking like. Emma did it with me, my boyfriend did it with me, and we can all say firsthand how life-changing this is. Once again, all the people in the program that I'm in with my coach did this on a much larger scale. I'm just trying to give you guys a little snippet of a taste of what a dopamine detox, no sugar, what a dopamine detox will do for your nervous system. Emma said literally still doing this. And that's kind of what I was trying to say in the beginning too, of like, I'm not checking off the box on this every single day of every single thing, but like it changed my life so much that now I carry it on with me every single day. And I'm gonna teach this to everyone I know over and over again because of how life-changing it is. And so you're blessed. I'm not saying no sugar. I did no sugar, and that's why she's saying that. But this is going to be the rules. We're going to do a 7-day challenge. And so I want us to start literally tomorrow because there's no way to prepare for this. And I don't want to hear excuses. And so the second that we're finished with this, tomorrow's the day. So first things first is putting your phone on grayscale. If you did not know, you could turn your phone to literally be black and white. And this actually sucks all the dopamine hit out of scrolling and being on your phone. and it's actually really crazy. It's so crazy that like my boyfriend literally created a widget that like I can turn it. I don't even know if you guys can see this, but like I can turn it on and off because like I needed to do it just to check my content before I posted it, and then I turned it back on. So like when the grayscale goes on, your phone's literally in black and white, and like it's crazy. And so how you do that is the instructions are on the screen. So everyone pull out your phone, go to settings, go to accessibility, display and text size, color filters, and then select grayscale. Um, for the next 7 days, no scrolling on social media. I like delete it. And you're gonna be like, what the hell? Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything, it's gone. Because you're going to realize how much time that you'll have back, how much less comparison that you're going to be doing to people. Like this, even after this might even be a good time for you to start unfollowing people. If someone triggers you, I don't even care if it's a family member or a friend. Like if someone triggers you, either unfollow them, delete them, or if like you really, really can't, like mute their ass. Like I want you to really realize that like you are consuming things that you don't even realize on such a micro, like small scale on a daily basis to where it's affecting your subconscious. And so these are all things that are going to feel like hard and like a struggle in the moment, but it's actually going to be changing your subconscious and your brain chemistry. Um, no background stimulation. So podcasts, no watching TV, no YouTube. Yes, this includes, music. You can listen to instrumental music, but I don't want anything with words. Um, and no caffeine and no alcohol. And I said, get your electrolytes ready because you're gonna be wanting a little something. I will say that the caffeine detox is like actually painful. And so if you're drinking a shit ton of caffeine, like I'm talking 400 milligrams a day, maybe just even like kind of cut it in half and like slowly ease off of it, because if you go from 100 to 0, it is painful. But if you're not drinking that much caffeine, like just go for it. But I just wanted to give that one little disclaimer. And then I want you guys to practice 20 minutes every single day because you're going to have time. There's no excuse. You're not scrolling on social media. You're not watching TV or podcasting. You're going to have some time. So I want you to spend time with yourself and being present. It doesn't have to be a 20-minute meditation, but I did say, 20 minutes. So you can break it up. You can go on a walk. You can journal. You can meditate. Breath work is a different form of meditation where it's like actually like manipulating your breath. Like, for example, there's like a practice called like box breathing, where it's like you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, blow out for 4 seconds, hold at the bottom for 4 seconds. And so it's kind of supposed to be like a box, like 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. And breathwork kind of manipulates that. So if you don't have the Insight Timer app already, I highly recommend downloading it. You can search through all different types of meditation and breath work and put in how much time. So like 5 minutes, or even like topics and stuff, or you can go on YouTube like I just showed you guys. And then I want you guys to check in. Like it's going to be a struggle for some, for others, you're going to feel like a quick win, like right away. But like I will say this, even after one day, it's going to start changing your life. And at the end of the 7 days, you're actually going to be like a whole new bitch. Like you're going to be a different person. So I want you guys to lean on all of us as a community. We're in this together, daily checking in the group chat with a win. What's going on? What did you learn? How are you feeling? What are the vibes? And yeah, so I also want to remind you this isn't about me just like removing all the joy from your life. It's about building your tolerance for stillness. And this is going to give you guys like the ability to reclaim not only your energy, but also clarity and intention and like true rest and like being refreshed and like almost like what you imagine like a vacation is going to be. Like this is your vacation that your body needs. Um, and if any of you guys are like, even I feel like this is like also a good timing because it's like, I don't know what everyone's calling, where it's like the great lock-in or whatever, like the time to lock ins from September, has everyone seen that of the trending or whatever? Like if there's anything specific in your areas of your life, whether it's like, you know, a business goal, a financial goal, or once again, this program, it's like this is going to give you so much more clarity and motivation and energy to lock the fuck in. So this isn't forever. This is just a little pattern interrupt for you guys so that we can remind your body that safety doesn't come from stimulation and distraction. It comes from regulation. So, and like your ability to make, you know, more aligned choices that actually feel good with you and being your authentic self. Give you guys good sleep, better recovery, and better progress. So gaining muscle, getting stronger, but also losing fat easier. You know, we're gonna reset your caffeine tolerance so that you don't need as much. So like even like Emma and me both, like we don't even like really drink caffeine. Like I drink half the amount that I used to, but like I used to drink my double shot espresso in the morning and then an Alani a few hours later, like 400 plus milligrams a day. And like now I just pick one or the other and like I'm wired. And like I can't even tell you when we finished that detox. It was probably like 2 months ago. And like it really reset my caffeine tolerance and is saving me money on caffeine. But also like I actually feel like it does something to me, whereas like before I literally like it didn't do anything to me and I was still so exhausted. So like now when I do it, it feels like I'm on crack. Um, but yeah, let's make it cute and let's make it fun. You're gonna have a little bit more time on your hands to do other things. So I put these on here because these are all from Target and these are all like $5 and these are cute little crafts. You know, spend time with yourself, clean out your closet, do some arts and crafts, read, go outside, garden, play, I don't know, start a hobby, whatever. Do it with a friend even. Like if you have any friends that like, you know, might want to lock in with you on this, like how like Emma, my boyfriend, did with me, it does make it more fun. But like at the end of the day, we're all in this together. And I really am excited for us to all just like have this time to reconnect with ourselves and like change your fucking life. So like I really want you to lock in and like know that like this will actually change your life and you can do anything for 7 days. So um, does anybody have any questions, comments besides that you hate me, or anything that you want to add? The fact that this sounds so difficult makes you feel like you need it. Yeah, like the people who are looking at this, and I'll go back to it and I'm gonna drop it to you guys later, but like if this is like scary or like you're like, oh, I really don't want to do this, or you're already kind of coming up with excuses or reasons why you can't, is you're this is exactly for you. Like you're the ideal audience. Like this is not optional for you. Which I will say it sounds scarier than it actually is. It's not that bad. It's only 7 days. Anyone else have any comments, questions, concerns? Oh, crickets, you guys just hate me. We got this. That's the energy I needed. Okay. I will need reminders for check-in. Yeah, and I'll be and good. Sophia said so that she's already trying on to be on her phone, so she'll need some reminders. That's honestly good. So this will be easier for you. Um, and yeah, I'll send you guys reminders and see and be checking in on you guys. But I also want you guys to like notice wins in real time and drop them before you guys forget because you're going to be going throughout your day and like have some realizations and some shifts and everything. All right. Is there anything else I can support you guys with in the meantime? We've got a couple of minutes. Anything at all? Anything coming up for you this week? Anything that you have questions about? Any other way that I can support you in the meantime or anything like that? All right. I'm excited. Get excited. Okay, guys, it's time to lock in and change your life. And you guys are going to be so grateful and so thankful, I promise. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Can't wait to hear how it goes. Have a good rest of your guys' night and a good week.